The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown. End zone, Jake Ferguson. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrick Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Yeomans.
It's a Talkin' Tuesday edition of Talkin' Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, and the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. We've got Patrick No-C Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back, ready to take your phone call in the second segment, 888-855-2297. I'm Kyle Yeoman. So glad you're with us. We welcome you into another great edition of Talkin' Cowboys.
We're doing it yet again.
Yes, sir.
Back, baby. You know, it's funny, like you get into the routine of week by week in the NFL. So when you start week one on a Thursday night, it just kerfuffles everything. You don't have any sort of rhythm. But you know what? We're in a rhythm now. We've got 1 week down. We're going into the second week of normalcy.
Yeah.
Week 3 of the season. I feel like we're starting to hit a groove here.
Just a white boy with rhythm over there, like Baker Mayfield.
Play that funky music, if you will.
Did you see him lock in last night?
Absolutely.
When they cut to that camera shot and they were down by 6, I was like, oh, Texans are done. I was like, and it's not because of Baker Mayfield, it's just because of the look he was doing.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I think what really did it was when he scrambled and he ended up kind of banging his knee on the turf a little bit. So he was down. So for a quick second, you're thinking, holy crap, this looks bad. And then he heard Gardner Johnson yapping at him, and he immediately pops up on some Super Saiyan 4 type stuff in his face. And at that point, I was like, oh, that's the Baker you're going to get the rest of this game.
Yeah. No.
So
he doesn't play
when
around.
he went down, I thought he had broke his ankle.
Yeah,
because I even
writhing.
said
it looked like it twisted.
I think his shoe fell off.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I think his shoe. So I don't know if he was ever
looked like
hurt.
He was writhing.
Yeah,
he went from writhing.
But I think he was trying to put it back on. So that's why it was such an instant change. Because I thought the same thing at first. When he went down, I was like, oh no, he just broke his ankle. And I said that audibly, and my wife turned around and was like, did he? And I was like, well, now he's chirping.
Now he's talking his
Now
ass.
he's like yelling at C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Funniest thing I've seen in a long time.
I don't know.
Much like you, Kyle, Baker is invited to every cookout. 100%.
Nice.
Because Baker's about
Well,
to
I think he woke up. He woke up yesterday feeling dangerous.
It's the thumbs up.
What did you do?
I said we could carpool.
Nice.
I love it. All right, news and notes. We do have a couple things to hit here because we did not talk about it yesterday, but on Sunday, following the Cowboys' 40-37 win over New York, Cooper Beebe leaves the locker room on crutches with a swollen ankle. I believe it was Nick Harris that said it was the size of his head, and Nick's got a big head. So it's a pretty big ankle. It was a high ankle sprain, out 6 to 8 weeks now. Beebe done, Brock Hoffman in for the meantime.
That is correct. So Cooper Beebe was officially moved to injured reserve on Monday. That did clear the path because the Cowboys were going to have to make a roster move anyway, corresponding to the signing of Jadeveon Clowney, which also became official on Monday. So it's just a clean swap there. But with that, high ankle sprain is how it's described. I'm looking because Todd Archer had great detail on it. He was saying it's not actually a high ankle sprain. I'll find that in a moment. Nonetheless, that's going to thrust Brock Hoffman into the limelight as your starting center. This is something that the Cowboys were working to prepare for the potentiality of in training camp. That's why they gave Brock Hoffman so many reps at at center with the second team. And you saw him acquit himself very well, mostly in that game against the Giants to close out. He did have the bad snap, so that's going to be a concern for me until I see that he gets that snap down, and we're not talking about that. But outside of that, there's no questioning the bully ball demeanor.
Glass eater.
Yeah, just absolute Leviathan aura of Brock Hoffman.
What a word.
Brock Hoffman. To clarify on the Beebe injury, he does not have a high ankle sprain, but is dealing with a lateral sprain and a fracture of a small bone in that foot.
There you go.
Okay, so Same timetable though.
Same time.
Still 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8.
That's why it's 6 to 8 weeks
Still
versus a high ankle sprain, which would probably be a little less than 6 to 8.
Yeah,
Tensing the severity.
That also depends because high ankle sprains are very
especially with offensive
booty,
linemen,
for lack of a better way to put it. So,
and usually the bigger you are, the bigger the return table is.
Right.
For a high ankle sprain, I'm sure it's similar though with a fracture like that.
Right.
So good clarification there. So not a high ankle sprain. That was really the big report across the league. But
timeline is still the same, which puts him if he is absent the entire 8 weeks, then he will be eligible to return after the bye week. So he will get that bye week as an actual additional day of rest or week of rest.
What is the minimum given the injured reserve?
Minimum of 4, but he's not coming back after 5.
Yeah.
Not with this injury. So I would look on the longer end of this spectrum. Mm-hmm. So, yes, he qualifies to return after 4, and the prognosis is 6 to 8. Given what we know, especially shouts out to Todd Archer for that information, is probably closer to the 8-week time frame.
How much does Dallas trust Brock Hoffman? Because yesterday, Brian Schottenheimer talked about how Dak is comfortable with him. They are comfortable with him as a play caller. It does not change. And, of course, he's going to say it's not going to change. But I actually do believe him in this case because he's been around the organization, because he's been a Brian Schottenheimer guy, and they've put so much of an emphasis on rotating those offensive linemen through training camp for this purpose. Do you think they really do trust Brock Hoffman enough to keep this thing rolling in the right direction?
I mean, they trusted Brock Hoffman enough to give him the start over Cooper Beebe early on last year in training camp.
That's true.
When Cooper
and
Beebe
he was one of the first re-signings this year, too, under Schottenheimer.
Absolutely. So they trust in him as a depth piece on the O-line, and this is exactly why you re-sign a guy like Cooper Beebe, or re-sign a guy like Brock Hoffman, in that, like Patrick alluded to, he's a nasty dude.
Nasty. Brock Hoffman is an
physical guy.
Old-school football player in a new school era. Okay, Brock Hoffman could play football in the 60s. He could play football in the 70s. I mean, this is the type of just lunch pail demeanor that he has. He's blue collar, goes back to his childhood and just his upbringing. He talked about it kind of tongue in cheek. I remember last season we were asking him about just why he's so vocal and why he plays the game so viscerally. And he told a story about him being a child, Pop Warner, and he takes a hit. And he starts crying. And his mom pulls him to the sideline and asks him, "Are you a word that starts with a P?"
Ooh.
And he was
a
8.
Pansy.
And he was 8. No, it wasn't. It had 5 letters. And it ended
He's
with
trying
a
to clean
Y.
it up for you.
Right.
I think we all know.
Yeah, we got
As
it.
an 8-year-old. So Brock Hoffman is not. He's not for the games.
No.
He wants the smoke. He's with the business. So the only concern I and the Cowboys have, and Jerry Jones said this on 105.3 The Fan this morning, the only concern is he needs to make sure that the snaps are crisp every single time. That's my only concern.
Because you saw at least 1 or 2 bad snaps towards the end of the regulation last week. So
and you also saw Brock Hoffman on at least 1 or 2 of those plays, clutch plays that, from Dak to CD, Dak to Pickens. He handled Dexter Lawrence pretty effectively.
Can I throw out a scenario that I'm looking forward to seeing?
Throw it out.
In a couple weeks, you face a team called the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
There's a guy on that defense named Micah Parsons who wasn't
Better heard of him.
necessarily
Michael Parsnips?
an edge-only rusher. He can rush on the interior as well.
yeah.
I want to see Brock Hoffman absolutely annihilate Micah Parsons on like a blitz up the middle.
It's going to be a fight either way.
Happen, yeah. And whoever wins or whoever loses, because Micah and the history between him and Brock at training camp. Remember DeMarcus Lawrence and the history that they had with Brock Hoffman. Everybody has history.
The world versus Brock Hoffman
at training camp. So those defensive linemen aren't necessarily like ho-hum about having Brock Hoffman in the middle of there because he is a glass eater and he is a tough SOB. But you turn around and you've got Micah Parsons in his return to AT&T Stadium. You know who's going to try and set the tone? Brock Hoffman is going to try and set the tone. Micah will probably.
Well, both.
Because they're going to go after each other.
Guys are going to win on both sides. It's going to happen. Micah Parsons will win in a few aspects of the game.
Probably most of them.
I guarantee you. But it'll be nice to have a guy like Brock Hoffman.
I just want that early. That's the only thing I'm asking for. I'm asking for a lot, actually.
Well, I think the beauty of it is it goes without saying, but let's say it anyway. Yes, there is a drop-off when you go from a starter to a backup. That's just the science of sports, okay? But the good news is the drop-off from Cooper Beebe to Brock Hoffman is not gargantuan, right? It's not the Grand Canyon. That's the good news. So you will get Brock Hoffman as starter. And then behind him, guess what? You got another glass eater, to use Kyle's term, TJ Bass.
Yeah.
He's a gamer. Right, so
he can play guard, he can play tackle,
can play, and he's been taking snaps at center as well.
Exactly, they were giving him snaps at center in the preseason.
Yeah.
So
that's your backup center now.
Yeah, now it's backup center. You're in
you've covered yourself in that
solid hands.
Yeah,
as far as your interior offensive line depth is concerned.
Do I like it?
No. hate that Cooper Beebe is not on the field. I hate it, but it's also true that when you look at who's coming up behind him. Okay.
I posted a video on Twitter of Isaiah's breakdown. This was before we knew Cooper Beebe was hurt long term, and it's a part of the CeeDee Lamb the deep over that he ran and that was completed. The only reason that play happened was because of Brock Hoffman. Hoffman was rolling to the right, and then he peeled back to his left and immediately found an edge rusher that at that point was free and locked him up, pushed him to the side. Dak was able to step up in the pocket and deliver a strike to
Delectable.
I am actually excited to see how the run game either improves or takes a step back in terms of your center, in terms of inside runs. Yeah. I'd be curious to see.
Get better, BB.
Get better, BB. But also, let's see some Brock Hoffman.
All right,
Brock Hoffman.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Here comes the pain.
So keeping to the injury front, we got a little bit better news, I should say. DaRon Bland. Speaking to the status of DaRon Bland, Schottenheimer was a little bit more, not pessimistic, but he's a little bit more wait and see.
He's like uncommittal.
Yeah. He was a little more wait and see. It sounds, hearing Schottenheimer sounds like there's a better chance of DaRon Bland returning.
And what did Steven call it yesterday? A long putt from playing week 2?
For playing week 2.
And for those golfers out there.
Week 3.
You know how it feels to step up and try and hit a long putt.
So when you hear, that's a good point. So when you hear Steven on 105.3 FM, 105.3 The Fan yesterday, you hear Schottenheimer talking about Bland, you start to really feel like it's aiming at the Green Bay game. Mm-hmm. You hear Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan this morning, and he said there's a solid chance that he takes the field against the Bears. I'm going to go majority rules, and I'm going to assume that DaRon Bland probably misses the game against the Bears. I think that's just a wise decision, especially given the magnitude of the game that immediately follows that Bears game.
I don't want to take any team for granted. I really don't.
This you just got to play it smart.
But I want him healthy for Green Bay.
And not just that.
If at all possible, I want him 100%.
Not just that. You don't want to risk a setback that could cost you DaRon Bland in the back half of the season.
And DaRon Bland may have had a setback last year, so we don't want to. We don't want to do anything like that again.
You have more.
It was never confirmed a setback.
You have more quality offenses that are on the way, passing attacks, and you just don't want a repeat of what happened in week 2. Now, keeping the cornerback room, injury front, some more good news. Jerry Jones told 105.3 The Fan that when he was asked about the possibility of re-signing Stefon Gilmore, he said, quote unquote, help is on the way internally. He mentioned Bland, but he also mentioned Savon Revel. And he mentioned him in a great space. He basically intimated largely that Revel is nearing his debut for the Cowboys. Now, Revel is on PUP, so he still has to sit out 2 more games.
Yeah.
But if things continue as it sounds like they're going, which is in the right direction, you could possibly see him as early as week 5. So, keep an eye on that. If things continue to go progressively well, you could possibly see him on the field for week 5.
Does that give you guys any confidence at all, having not seen him with the defense?
When you know what he's
based off of the tape from college that I absolutely loved, and also based off of the tape that was shown by the Dallas secondary in week 2. Yeah, it does give me a little extra confidence just to have a guy out there. I think the number for Trayvon Diggs was he gave up 4 receptions for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I don't think that's good.
That's not good. Not great.
Just confirming.
Yeah, but the whole thought process around just bodies there makes me feel better because I just need bodies back. If you're telling me Bland and Revel are back in the secondary by week 5,
and you know
which is best case scenario.
Best case scenario.
But
if that is the
I'm
case,
cool with that.
If Revel does make his Cowboys debut in week 5, it's a great opportunity for him to build confidence against a New York Jets offense.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like you're dropping him in against the Eagles or a Russell Wilson going for almost 500 yards. You're dropping him in against the New York Jets offense that is still trying to figure their way out. Right. So that's good. Lastly, on the injury front, additional good news.
Can I add one more thing to that real quick? You brought up they asked the question about Stefon Gilmore.
They did.
There's a lot of talk around Stefon Gilmore because he was already in the building. It was a different defensive coordinator. Let's go ahead and keep that there. There are circles within the league that don't think he can run anymore.
That is exactly what I knew you were going to say.
There are people that don't think he can run. And have you? Okay,
so literally to the letter.
Really? Yeah, that's the concern. I think the Dallas. I don't know. I haven't heard this from Dallas circles. Let me just get that very clear. When it comes to Stefon Gilmore in the league, that's why he's still out there. I think he'll still get signed because somebody's going to need somebody break class in case of emergency sort of corner, and he'd be good for that. He played decent for Minnesota last year. It wasn't like he was a bad football player, but dealing with the amount of injuries he did down the stretch, I think it's taken a toll on him, and he's not the same player.
I have definitely heard the same thing in league circles. Now, again, this is what we're hearing. We haven't seen Gilmore run in 2025, so we don't know.
Yeah. I would like to see.
I was going to say, that doesn't, make me put a strike through his name. I would like to see him. I say kick the tires, and if you get him out here in practice,
one thing he's gonna be smart.
Well, he's going to be one of your more cerebral guys. Yeah. So I said you bring him on, you give him some practices. Try, give him some game reps. If it turns out that those rumors in the league circles are true, then now you know. At least you don't play the what-if game. With so much on the line this season.
I mean, do you even need to run if you're a cornerback?
A little bit.
A little.
You know what happens
if not a lot.
I was going to say, you know what happens if you know what happens if you don't? You turn around and wind up.
Then you're running a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, then you're chasing. Yeah. Right. Lastly, some good news for Kevontae Turpin. He left the game with a neck injury after making a major impact against the Giants. He had a neck brace on in the locker room. I kind of pulled him to the side. I said, "Hey, Kevontae, how you feeling? What's going on?" He said, "I'm good, Pat. I'm good." And that seems to be holding true. Schottenheimer said yesterday that the test results on Kevontae Turpin's neck came back mostly clean. And now you hear Jerry Jones to 105.3 The Fan basically kind of echoing what Stephen Jones said to The Fan yesterday, which was that it's not a major concern at all. And there's a chance that Kevontae Turpin could be on the field this weekend against the Bears. But even if he is not, that tells you the lack of severity in that injury. The fact that they think there's a good shot for him to be on the field a few days later.
Ooh, you know what would be just poetic? The best returner in the game right now, returning a kick to the house in the house of Devin Hester, the best return man of all time.
Don't kick the Turpin.
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
that would be sweet. Did you see 78% of kicks have been returned this year because of the new rule?
Yeah,
it went from like 33 to 70, 78. That's impressive.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
They wanted the dynamic kickoff.
There's a conversation that we need to have at some point about the dynamic kickoff and our coverage in that play, but maybe down the road. I think
every team is struggling in that regard.
I don't know.
Saw it last night too.
Yeah,
last night, both of the games last night, there were big returns. And as a team that has an electrifying returner, I love it. I think I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Now, 10 years down the road, when we don't have an electric returner and these are still the rules, maybe I don't love it as much.
I don't want to think that far down the road, Kyle.
Yeah, maybe Turpin's
living now, Kyle.
Yeah,
sorry.
Be where your feet are, Kyle.
Sorry. You know where my feet are?
Where are your feet?
In the middle of a Talkin' Tuesday.
I like it.
Give us a call, 888-855-2297. We're back with Talkin' Tuesday when we return with more Talkin' Cowboys.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united. If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impact 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
It's Talkin' Tuesday. Pick up the phone, don't delay. Chat it up, spill your mind. Tuesday's here, it's your time. Call us now, let's unwind. Talkin' Tuesday, talk it through.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Chris Beam with the Talkin' Tuesday sounder, just getting in the groove here in week 3 of the NFL season. And we're going to start things off with our pal Mike in New York. With that kind of sounder and that type of intro, Mike, you're going to have to give us a banger of an energy, a banger of a call right off the top. Mike, what you got?
What's going on, guys? I'm happy Clowney's in the building. I think he's going to help us better with the better pass rush, and our secondary's got to be better. That Sunday was a disaster. I'm like, come on. Like, I understand we don't have Bland, but we need a little better coverage.
Arguably, yes.
That's well put, Mike.
Just a smidge.
Well put. So he brought up Jadeveon Clowney. You got the chance to talk to.
I did get the chance to talk to Jadeveon
for a little bit.
Shouts out to Nicole Hutchinson as well. She did a great interview one-on-one with him, and then I did a sidebar thereafter. But he gave a lot of insight into his thought process. Number one, and his agent confirmed it to Todd Archer yesterday. This was his first and primary destination that he wanted to land in 2025. And then he basically said that the Kenny Clark variable played a huge part in his decision. He said once the trade happened and he saw that Kenny Clark was acquired, combine that with Osa and Solomon Thomas, and he said that he immediately got on the phone with his agent and said, Dallas is where I want to be. Put in the call and see what you can do to get me in Dallas. And that's his quote. And then it just went from there. He and I kind of talked off the cuff a little bit about his playing weight. He said that I asked him about the question that Nicole asked as far as Eberflus' scheme, and he said, I go forward. That was his answer to Nicole Hutchinson. He said, I go forward. They had me doing a lot of coverage in Carolina. He didn't necessarily like that. It's wild to me that at 31 at the time, asked to do a lot more coverage than he's ever done, he still led the team with 5.5 sacks and in pressures and in. Okay?
It was a bad team.
Yeah, fair. But the fact that he still got that, mixing in coverage that he didn't want to mix in, that's impressive. On the off-the-cuff conversation, we touched on that some more. He told me that in order to be able to do that coverage effectively, he dropped 10 pounds. So from 255 to 245 to get that done. He's at 245 right now. He said that he expects and is ready to play against Chicago this weekend. But over the next couple weeks or so, he is looking to add that 10 pounds of muscle back.
Wow.
Because the conversation he had with Eberflus and Schottenheimer in the courting process, which was another selling point, Eberflus told him, you will rarely, if ever, drop back. We're going to send you forward. We're going to send you at the passer. And he said his ears perked up. And add that to the relationship with Schottenheimer, to Kenny Clark's addition. And then I know a lot of people were saying, he said we had a good secondary. He visited after the Eagles game. So keep that in mind. Okay? So all things considered, not only is Clowney in the building, he wanted to be in the building before the first game was played this season. He wanted to be in the building even more after the first game was played. And now he's just all smiles and he's ready to get to work as early as this weekend.
I like it.
I like what he said in terms of us, because somebody had asked him, like, do you think you're going to replicate the production of one Micah Parsons? He goes, I'm not Micah Parsons.
Yeah. I liked that.
I'm Jadeveon Clowney. I liked what he said there. I liked what he said about the facilities. He's saying that we're kind of spoiled here by in comparison to the other facilities he's been around the league. He's been to a lot of facilities.
Does it worry you that he's been with 6 teams now in the last 7 years?
To me, he comes off as a guy that is very financially savvy.
Yeah.
That wants to go somewhere and get paid for what he's able to do. He's a Renaissance man, in my opinion. And I think this is putting him in the best position to not only win, but to get what he needs, and that's cash, and that's stats.
Doesn't bother me because at each of those stops, he's produced at a high level.
If you could give me 5.5 sacks like he did last year, which I think is the low end, if you give me 5.5 sacks, I think I'm fine. Because you're cool with that, and you sprinkle that with what you'll see from Nealand and Fowler. Hopefully he takes a step forward. That's another conversation we're going to have tomorrow.
And you're saying that the Panthers, they were a really bad team, but he was not a bad player on that team.
He was a really, really good player on a bad team, but if that team was – he played for the Ravens, did he not?
Yeah.
A good team. He was one of the better players on a good team.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Just a really good player.
Yeah, a really good player.
And, again, like he's saying –
Still.
Like we're saying, and I don't know that we've said it in such black and white terms, but don't expect Micah Parsons' production. Really don't.
Don't even expect Micah Parsons' snap count.
Nope.
That's why you won't see Micah Parsons.
Yeah, rotational guy that has a lot of abilities and a bend that you're not getting from anybody else.
And somebody that's going to shorten those coverage windows. You want the secondary to improve?
Yeah.
Send more horses.
He gives you another guy that can close. On the quarterback and then get there and get home. Home. All right, let's go to Miguel in Stockton, California.
Miguel.
What's up, Miguel?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm okay. I actually hang out with Dartavius Small from the hood.
Yes, sir.
How's he doing? How's our guy?
Does he have
how's
a
he hanging?
Newport behind his ear or like a small lightsaber behind his ear?
Yeah, he's on demon time, just like we hope Jadeveon Clowney will be.
Hey,
I like it.
So, a couple of quick things. First-time caller. I listen to you guys every night at work. I work graveyard, so it's rare that I actually catch the show live.
You're real. You're a real one.
But real quick, like on Turpin, as soon as he got hit, I was kind of scared. I could tell something was wrong. I texted my friend. I was terrified every time he gets hit, so I'm glad to hear he's okay because we need him back.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like Jalen Tolbert on those kick returns at all. That's just me.
That's actually a fair assessment.
Yeah, and hopefully we get something out of Ryan Flournoy because I don't really understand why he hasn't got a shot yet. Tolbert, granted, he made that one diving catch, which we really, really needed, but that one off the sideline, he needs to pull that in.
Mm-hmm.
And Javonte Williams, what a surprise he's been. I used to say a lot of bad things about him, but I'm glad everything's working out.
I respect that. I respect that you. I respect the person that can take accountability.
Absolutely.
And say, you know what? I was wrong. Miguel is a real one.
Same thing with Kenneth Murray. We talked a lot of crap about him after week 1.
Mm-hmm.
He looked really lost out there, and then I noticed him right away yesterday, or on Sunday, I should say. He was all over the place. Probably had about 10 tackles or so, and that defense, man, I don't know what's going on with that pass coverage. I was having fits on all those Russell Wilson deep balls because, as everybody said, Wan'Dale Robinson, I don't know how he was open so often. Malik Neighbors is a guy, so that one I kind of understand, but Donovan Wilson has to get back there. I don't know if it's a miscommunication on the back end or what's going on, but we need to fix that, and hopefully next week, I hope there's some familiarity with Matt Eberflus and Ben Johnson. Hopefully we can fix some of those problems because I do not want to go 1-2. And
going into Green Bay.
Yeah, that's it for the most part. I like what I've seen so far from Coach Shoddy. everything looks good. Hopefully we see some Jaden Blue pretty soon. Shout out to Miles Sanders, too, for that touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't really make us getting caught from behind, but it's a start.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, go Cowboys. Hopefully everything keeps looking up. And that's all I got for you guys.
Appreciate you, Miguel. Appreciate
you, Miguel.
listening. And, well, yeah, like Pat just said, that's Miguel the analyst. It's like he got it all figured out.
Listen, and to deliver that information on a tired mind because he works graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh, Miguel, you
woke up to
real
give us that call.
friend.
What a dude.
We love
Shouts
us
to
some
him.
grinders. Miguel's a grinder.
I want to start with the Flanoy Tolbert
Man.
conversation. That's where I want to
Josh,
start.
Would you like to?
You activate Ryan Flanoy.
He's on the roster.
Yeah, he's
now.
on the roster.
And
now.
in the fourth quarter, when you desperately need it the most, you are throwing critical passes, third and fourth down passes to one Jalen Tolbert. Granted, he caught one, he dropped one that put you in a fourth down situation. And he made a good catch, no doubt, on fourth down when you needed it. My thing is, I don't know that I'm seeing enough in run blocking and enough in his routes. I don't think
blocking.
The blocking is rough, and him getting open, just getting separations. Kind of gripe that we've had since last season when we didn't have one George Pickens, and you're relying on Jalen Tolbert out there to get open, get separated, help CeeDee Lamb in one way or another, and it just wasn't happening. And I'm not seeing that progression. I'm not seeing a guy that has changed his game from last year to this year. And I don't want to be disrespectful at all. I mean, I'm just calling it like I see it, right? And to me, at this point, I would love to see what Ryan Flanoy would do in Jalen Tolbert's role
100%
right now.
agree. And to that point, unfortunately, Flanoy, although signed from the practice squad to the active roster this past weekend, only 11 offensive snaps in this game. Only 11. The majority of his reps came on special teams. He had 21 special team snaps. And we know that he can play ball on special teams. That's not in question. We also know that he can play ball on offense. So we would just like to see Ryan Flanoy get the opportunity, get some of those targets, especially in critical situations. And I think what really concerns me is in the event Kevontae Turpin can't play against the Bears, or he's ruled out against the Bears, if you're going to keep Tolbert as one of your returners, but also continue to designate him as your WR3 with that workload, he's going to be so gassed from the returns that it starts to further negatively impact what he's able to do on offense, right? So for me, something's got to give there. And the good news is you know what can give, right? If you're gonna insist on using Tolbert as a returner in this game against the Bears in the event Kevontae Turpin can't go, then Flanoy needs to operate as WR3. That's the offset for me. That's the offset. First of all, I do agree. Shouts out to Miles Sanders. He did have that touchdown that was critical, helped impact the game. Helped Cowboys win. Javonte Williams, he's starting to really find his groove.
Almost had that 100-yard game.
That's your dude.
He was right there.
That's your dude now.
But if Turpin can't go, this is a good opportunity for Jaden Blue. So even if the knock on Jaden Blue right now is, even if the knock is that he's struggling to learn the playbook and he needs to show more consistency there, I tell you what, he knows how to return a kick.
Yeah, he does.
There's no playbook to returning a kick. So
run fast.
Yeah.
Hit a hole.
Catch ball, run fast.
Find the seam.
Avoid guys.
Yeah.
All right. We got
Hold
to
on
take our second break. When we come back, we've got two more callers, Lester in Minnesota, Josh in Chicago. We will get to you very, very shortly. On to the third segment of Talkin' Tuesday on Talkin' Cowboys.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time, but what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, it is a Talkin' Tuesday, and this segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys, with Patrick No-See Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Yeomans, as we now turn it over to Lester in Minnesota. What's going on, Lester?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning, buddy.
My tagline, I call in a storyline a lot. My tagline is, until we get a good to very good offensive and defensive line at the same time, this is what we got. So I say that to say this. I am very pleased to see that they built up both of them, and they're really building up the defensive line now. I'm very happy that we kept Hoffman, and I'm very glad that we got Clark and Clowney. And I know that I'm an old school football guy. I played in high school, and I like running the ball. And it's been said for a few years, we're gonna run the ball. But this year, I see it because I saw that one play. I think it was the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, I believe, and we were like 2nd and 22 or something, the 2nd and 27, and they ran the ball. So that's a commitment right there.
Yeah.
And then the running back got like 18 yards or something. I was like, wow, now that's a commitment to running the ball. And I love it, man. I love it. We're just building. What do you guys think?
I completely agree. Great call, Lester. They did stick to the run, and it's a bit refreshing and to see that whenever you were unsure about the running game going into it. And Javonte Williams, let me just say, has eased all of my queries when it comes to the run game. I mean, I believe in Javonte Williams, the cuts, the patience, the acceleration. I think I don't know if he's rookie year Javonte Williams, when he was setting the league on fire in Denver. I don't know if he's there, but he's not far off through 2 games, and he looks legitimate.
I believe in Javonte.
Yes.
Okay,
we're going gospel now?
No. That's actually WWE. Shouts out to Jeff Hendry. We'll get you up to
based on golf.
Javonte Williams fell 3 yards short of his of a 100-yard rushing game,
and he was my X factor. Remember that?
He was
100 yards,
130 yards from scrimmage. 130 yards.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
I know.
130 yards from scrimmage, 3rd rushing touchdown in only his first 2 games. Averaged 5.4 yards per tote on the ground.
Amazing.
And averaged 5.5 yards as a receiver out of the backfield, giving the Cowboys 33 yards receiving on 6 targets. Javonte Williams is proving himself, now that he's fully healthy, proving himself to be one of the dogs on this offense. And when I say dog, I mean you saw his bark on that 30-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
You saw it because Tyler Smith is pulling. He didn't get his blocker clean. Blocker kind of gets through. At that point, if you catch that steal right there, you're like, Javonte Williams, this is a loss for 1 yard.
Dead to rights.
Dead to rights. The vision, the patience, the physicality, to shrug that guy off, the next guy off, and still have the burst to go forward and get everything you want in a running back outside of pass pro was displayed on that one play.
Absolutely. You got to love it. And he's never been a doubt in the coach's mindset.
No.
Brian Schottenheimer has been very, very vocal about Javonte Williams and his ability and their confidence in him since training camp. We didn't see it, and we were like, why isn't he out there preseason? But what are we doing?
We also said that going into it is like, it's tough to see running backs in training camp in the preseason.
Time and again.
All the time. We say it every year, and everybody's like, why is Jaden Blue not the starter? It's like, because there's a reason. I'm not saying you, but in general, like, we need to give Jaden Blue 25 carries, and that's fine. That can come at some point in time, but not right now. I want to give that guy 25 carries.
Absolutely. And early on in the game, when things weren't working out for you, obviously their game plan going into it was, we're going to run Javonte Williams. We're going to run him against the front, interior runs. I didn't love it, and it wasn't working out necessarily, and I wouldn't against that defensive front, but they kept with it, and he still started showing up in bursts when he's running to the outside, and then, of course, that amazing 30-yard touchdown down the middle. So they had faith in him that it was going to keep going as the game went along. Javonte Williams is an X factor, absolutely, and they've believed it since training camp, and now people are starting to catch up on it. I love it, man.
I put this stat in Big Facts last week, and it came
on DallasCowboys.com.
On DallasCowboys.com, and there's another article coming out tomorrow.
We'll see.
No, it'll happen tomorrow.
All right.
Javonte Williams joined Herschel Walker and Alvin Blunt as the only 3 Cowboys with 3 rushing touchdowns through their first 2 games with the franchise.
Is that good, Kyle?
Pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it. I like it, Javonte.
And how many rushing touchdowns do we have total? Is that 4?
4. Yeah, because one with
Miles.
Yeah.
So, and how many did we have as a team all of last year?
6. I'm thinking we're back.
Like John Wick.
I'm thinking we're back.
Sorry, Rico Dowdle. Sorry, buddy. You're having fun in Carolina. All right.
He's not.
Yeah, he's not having fun.
He's not having fun in Carolina.
Sorry, Rico.
Good choice, buddy.
Well, I still like Rico.
Yeah,
get out of here, man.
Rico. All right. Josh in Chicago, our final caller here on this.
Look in my eyes.
Hey, let me talk to you.
That was awesome.
That was.
What's up, Josh?
So, to quote Macho Man Randy Savage, all these injuries, unjustifiably in a position I'd rather not be in.
Yeah. Coffee in the morning. Yeah. Coffee in the morning.
So,
injuries. Yeah. Go ahead.
One of the things that I was kind of looking at during the game, I got to say, I think Booker's holding up really well, but in the running game, I think they got to get that wrinkle with CeeDee Lamb on those end arounds again. CeeDee kind of started slow, and I feel like when they get him involved early with those, it really just kind of opens him up in the passing game more. I wanted to see more of that, and hopefully we'll see more of that this week, especially with Turpin, with seeing how he progresses throughout the week. Still got you guys there?
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're here.
I think I walked around my office, and I think I cut out for a second.
Man, that was some Devontae Turpin type hesitation there.
Yeah, well, it cut out for a second there. But yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to call in and say is I'm liking what's going on in the run game, but I think we got to get CD involved in it more. I think that'll help out a bit. But y'all have a great day. Hopefully, get in touch with you guys on Friday.
Sounds good. Appreciate you, Josh in Chicago.
Chicago made punk over there. Josh in Chicago.
I see what you
What
did
the
there.
heck was that?
I see what you did.
What was at the beginning of that call?
Josh is the voice of the voiceless.
What was that?
I need you to understand.
It's Black Rifle. It's a Black Rifle coffee in the morning.
Macho Man Randy Savage. Snap into a damn Slim Jim, Kyle.
I need you to send me a link. You just send me a cup of coffee in the morning.
Say less. Say less.
I have no idea.
We really have to get this guy up to speed on all things.
Kyle, what if you pivoted to wrestling?
Like instead of watching football and
No,
racing?
not instead.
What if you left the Dallas Cowboys and just went into independent professional?
I feel like I'd have the voice for it.
Absolutely.
Like I could get there.
You would be excellent doing like the commentator.
Like water polo.
You would be excellent being the commentator that actually gets into the matches and being like a smug commentator. Yeah,
he'd be the heel commentator.
You would be an excellent heel commentator.
He'd be Wade Barrett. I'm going to play this really quickly. Quick second. This is.
Oh no.
You would be excellent.
Hold on.
Coffee in the big time, yeah.
Cup of coffee in the
big time, because you'll never get closer than
I hope our
Macho Man, just one of the greatest
coffee in the big time
ever.
All right, back to the call. Josh in Chicago saying he wants to get CeeDee Lamb involved in the run game a little bit more. I think I'm good without it.
No,
I'm good without it. I see what he's trying to say.
I see what you're saying.
I get it.
McCarthy ain't here no more, baby.
Well, it's not even just
but you
that.
don't need to.
You don't.
Yeah, if you're running the ball effectively for 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, why put your guy in harm's way?
And then it comes to durability. You need CeeDee Lamb healthy for the entirety.
He's had
of
100+ yards in each of the first 2 games.
So yeah, don't add additional hits, because when you start handing the ball off, you're basically giving linebackers carte blanche to square him up, right? And get those hard hits that they otherwise wouldn't get a shot at if he's running downfield against cornerbacks. So when it was needed last season, okay. This season, it's so not needed.
Right
so
now,
play it smart.
Exactly. Maybe later in the year, if the run game sputters and you need some kind of jolt, I could see that. But I would rather use a guy like, and not to put him in harm's way either, but also just because of the speed. The end around with Kevontae Turpin has shown to be
quite
far more effective.
Absolutely.
Even than when CeeDee Lamb had the end arounds.
Yep. Well, if you're trying to give it to Javonte Williams 25 times a game, if you're trying to give it to Miles Sanders another 5 or 6 times a game, and we're trying to get Jaden Blue involved as well if he gets active one of these games, Kevontae Turpin needs a carrier too. Come on, guys. How many times are we running the ball, really?
Yeah. I if we're going to use that wide receiver sweep, that end around, I give it to CD. Or, give it to Turpin.
I'll tell you who they're still not handing the ball to. Hunter Luepke. I don't understand.
0 carries.
Again.
They love him.
I understand why. Listen, I understand why they love him, and I can't be more clear in the fact that I love the versatility of Hunter Luepke. I love the physicality of Hunter Luepke. I love that if you were utilizing him, I know what he would bring for you. My gripe is that you're not using him, but he's on the game day roster.
He's there. I mean, he's taking special team snaps.
That's fine.
Absolutely. But you know what?
If you're in
the up back in a couple different areas.
If you're in a situation where you may be without Kevontae Turpin and you're not using Hunter Luepke on offense, you could use Jaden Blue as your returner.
Yeah.
Because you just said, okay, well, Hunter gives you something on special teams. Okay, well, now you need a special teams returner. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying, but I'm saying. So again, I can't stress this more. My gripe last week, this week has nothing to do with the ability of Hunter Luepke. It is there. I agree with the contract extension and what he can be for this team. But if you're choosing not to use him, then I need that spot to be utilized for somebody who can impact the game.
I think it's kind of interesting how you, me, and Isaiah all view this very differently.
I like that.
Isaiah looks at it as, why did you sign him, and why do you need to use him in a ball carrier?
Because they're not.
Because they're not going to. Whereas I see it as, I'm glad they signed him, and I think what he does best as a football player is off the ball. Is when he doesn't have the ball in his hand. I think he's a weapon when he has the ball in his hands, but his blocking, his ability to be a lead blocker is tremendous. He's great in goal line sets. That's why you use him. Short yardage, goal line sets, and then on special teams as well. So I like what he does without the ball in his hands. And then you're saying, okay, I'm glad they paid him, but why aren't they not using?
Why are they not using?
It's like we all see it in a very different way. I'm sure, Josh, you're probably somewhere in there as well.
I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it, and you paid him. You want to see him more involved in the offense, but then again, it's like they have a plan going forward. I think he's going to get. It's game 2. I mean, we will see him
one thing or the other.
But if he's not being utilized and he's on the active roster, you're losing a spot there.
See, but I would argue he is being utilized
in special teams and
short yardage.
Short yardage.
It gives you a benefit. I mean, how much have the Eagles won because of their short yardage situation, cheating or not? The tush push.
Cheating.
Exactly.
It's the first off.
Everybody false
the latter
starts.
or the former.
Line up in the neutral zone.
Yeah. When you look at their short yardage game, how many games have they won because of that?
Right.
Quite a bit. Short yardage is a massive part of football. And I think he gives you elements there and elements on the special team side that you are using. He's just not getting touches.
Yeah.
And I don't think his value comes from that. But they did pay him quite a bit of money for a guy that only plays special teams.
Right.
And to not get any touches. So that's where I guess the
that last part of what
is.
you just said?
And I get it.
That's it.
Yeah, and I get it. But I think there's a reason.
Luepke has several abilities that I love for this team.
Yeah.
Just saying, if you're not using them, I can point at a couple other guys that you could be using.
We are also in week 2.
We are.
Very early, and we've only seen.
But we can only speak to what we've seen or not
You
seen.
don't want to go all the way down to the bottom of the bag.
But we can only speak to what we've seen or not seen.
We've seen like a 7-iron and an 8-iron.
Gotta go.
All right. For Patrick No-C Walker, for Josh Rodriguez, for Chris Beam, and the back, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We'll see you tomorrow as we preview the Dallas defense versus the Chicago offense.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!